You're watching Sydney Visa. Today, we'll tell you about the latest changes in Australia's immigration policy, coming into effect on July 1st, 2025. These updates will affect skilled professionals, international students, and employers, and mark another major step in Australia's migration system reform. Australia's Minister for Home Affairs, Tony Burke, has spoken at the National Press Club, bringing clarity to the country's migration planning and the confusion around net overseas migration, or NOM. The minister explained that the post-pandemic surge in migration was largely the result of natural recovery effects. He highlighted two main reasons. First, backlog demand. After years of border closures, large groups of international students and temporary residents returned at the same time, creating a concentrated wave of arrivals. Second, visa timing distortions. Many people received new visas with shifted expiry dates, disrupting the usual annual balance and inflating short-term statistics. Burke also noted that much of the change in NOM is beyond the government's direct control, such as returning Australians whose movements depend on global economic conditions. He emphasized that when discussing migration cuts, it's important to focus on which visa categories are being reduced, not just total numbers. A large portion of permanent visa places go to people already living in Australia, moving from temporary to permanent status, a flow that has minimal impact on housing or infrastructure. However, the minister warned that cutting migration too sharply could create serious challenges, including labor shortages in construction, aged care, and agriculture, unless housing development and local production also increase. Australian states have received interim quotas for the state-nominated visa programs, subclasses 190 and 491, and the numbers are significantly lower than in previous years. This has caused concern among state premiers, particularly in Western Australia, Victoria, and South Australia, who warn that the cuts could worsen skill shortages in key sectors like construction, agriculture, and major infrastructure projects. For example, Victoria received only 380 interim places, 200 for subclass 190 and 180 for subclass 491. Similar small allocations were given to other states, meaning invitations will remain limited until the final program numbers are released later in the year. State governments have warned that such reductions may delay housing and infrastructure projects already under pressure. The National Innovation Visa, subclass 858, has not yet met expectations. Since its launch, over 9,000 expressions of interest have been submitted, but only about 304 invitations issued and around 85 visas granted. Considering that these include family members, the actual number of primary applicants is even smaller. The program was meant to attract world-leading innovators and researchers, but so far, interest remains limited, possibly due to cost of living or salary competitiveness in Australia. The new Jobs and Skills Australia occupation shortage list shows clear shifts. Many trade occupations, such as carpenters and electricians, are still in strong demand across all states, but several ICT roles are now marked NS, meaning no shortage. That helps explain why recent subclass 189 invitation rounds included fewer IT professionals. If you're planning to apply for a skilled visa, it's strongly recommended to check the current status of your occupation on the Jobs and Skills Australia website before applying. If you're planning to study, work, or migrate to Australia, talk to a registered migration agent at Sydney Visa. We'll help you assess your eligibility and find the right pathway for your journey. Subscribe for more updates and stay positive wherever you are.